to learn some strategies for talking to kids about money from an early age. We invited Brent Petty with Northwest Capital Management into the studio today to give us some advice as a financial advisor, especially. This is a great perspective. So first of all, Brent, good afternoon. Thanks for being here.
Good afternoon.
So for people with maybe kids or adults living at home, how do you at least start that conversation? I mean, what's your thought on that whole topic we just went through?
Well, I'm excited that people are just talking about it.
Yeah.
This is something that as we, and again, in a more progressive society over generations, we talk about more social issues. And this is a great life skill. In my opinion, the earlier you start, the better. And so this is fabulous. Start the conversation. Now I think we can focus on getting better at the conversation. What are some tried and true ways at an age appropriate level? There are different tactics, strategies that work better at different life stages.
I was going to say, so maybe the 5-year-old, I mean, how would you approach that conversation?
First and foremost, I'm glad they're having the conversation.
Yeah.
I think we as a society still struggle to talk about money, whether it's our own personal baggage as parents, whatever the case may be, it's very taboo. Start so our kids can have success with their money. Again, I come back to this particular story is age appropriate. I think there are ways to teach your kids about money and cable and how to be a productive member in society and the family. I like charging kids rent, the idea of it, but I think it comes later in life. There's different ways to go approach it. That's just me personally, where I think you can teach all the good concepts that this mom is trying to get across at age 5, but maybe rent comes when they move back in after school or whatever the case may be, or when they're at home from college over the summer. Just I subscribe more to out of a couple of books where there are very specific things that probably have more success at different age brackets than others.
What would you do with a 5-year-old then to teach the basic concepts of money?
Well, there's a book that I think we'll recommend a little bit later today that breaks it into different stages. Preschool, kindergarten, preschool, typical grade school, high school, college, and then early adulthood. And this would fall in that preschool camp, in my opinion. And I think you want to talk about concepts of money. They do understand that there's this kind of money concept, and I need this to get that, and then start to be able to distinguish between coins and dollars and what do these things mean and to save. I think especially maybe in this parent's situation, they have a pretty advanced a toddler that's keen to these things. Open up a savings account at a bank. I'm a big fan of online banks, but I think that comes later. If you open it up at a traditional bank, go into the store together. It's a field trip. Open the account, see the paper, see the statements coming in. That could be something that sticks with kids for the rest of their life.
Is this the age group where, the principle of you teach them you can invest, you can save, you can spend or donate? What age group would that be?
I think that is across no matter what spectrum you have them in. I subscribe to the 3 jars of money. Money you're going to spend now. Kids need to be able to earn some money and spend it now on things they want. It's part of society. But then they need to have another jar that's for money that they need to save for a later date, whether that's a big purchase or a party or something they want to do. And the third jar, and probably most important, is to give away for people in need. That's something you can't start early enough.
Yeah. Love that.
Well, I know with my daughter, it seems like first grade, I want to say first grade, they started learning, 4 quarters make $1, and they start learning that in math. So am I right when I say once they learn actually how to make $1 out of change, now we're off and running? And we should be exploring avenues of getting them to understand what all the value is.
Absolutely, and one way to even encourage that or maybe take it to the next level is as kids are earning money, is put in a match. If you save $1, I'll match.
Whoa, hold, time out.
You lost Rod.
Now you're losing me.
Maybe 50 cents to the dollar.
50%. Brent, one of your tips is to use real life examples. So how real do you get with your kids maybe about your money past?
Very practical in whether it's your past or maybe someone in your history or family. Someone took a trip, big fancy trip to Europe, and they weren't able to go do something that they wanted to do 6 months later, or whatever the case. Something that they saw and experienced, I think could be a real practical, and use real dollar terms. When you say, again, you wouldn't do this to a preschooler, but maybe someone in grade school or entering into junior high or whatnot, when you say, I'm saving in a 401k, that doesn't mean anything to them. But they're saying, I'm putting $500 into my 401k, and in 30 years, that's going to be worth $1 million. that starts to register. Those
Oh,
are
$1
big
million
numbers.
speaks to a child at any age.
Exactly.
Hey, I had an
Yes,
eye-opening experience with my son when he was much younger, but I said something about I don't have any cash. He just, go to that machine where the dollars come out.
Go get it.
You know, and I had to explain to him the concept of I put those dollars in.
That's right.
They're just not readily there.
Yeah.
And a tip that I subscribe to is never fib to your kids about how much money you have on you. You either do or you don't, and sometimes you just have to say, I don't have that money on me, we're not getting it, or here's the reason why, even if I did have it on, we're not going to make that purchase. But it's really important to, have that dialogue about, one of the tips that I like for junior high is in spending, is don't let kids spend their savings to zero. It's never safe to have anything in zero. So if they wanted to spend $150 on something, well, they might need to earn $200 before you're going to let them buy that $150 item.
I like
It's a good
that
lesson.
thinking.
Brent, we want to get to the book here that you brought in. This is a one you said if you had to pick one book, this would be it.
It's a quick read, and it's really a guide for parents who you have kids maybe at different age levels or whatnot. Step by step, how to talk, start the dialogue, keep it going, help them be a little bit more savvy, even through college. At the back of the book, there's how to save for college, different strategies. Big section on chores. Again, this book and others in kind of the top 10 literature, if you will, talking to kids, chores you don't pay money for. Chores is a right, if you will, or a privilege of being a member of the family. There are other things outside of basic
we
chores
could
that
make
are
that in our house.
Yes.
Yeah,
If we
you're
should
talking
pay
my
for it.
language.
I think that's a
say
whole
that all the
other
time.
segment to get into. Brent Petty with Northwest Capital Management. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.